Okay, so while I'm waiting for the info and the feedback on what to do with this baby, here we go. Coming apart. All right. These are. Daini did such a nice job. This one's super clean. I mean, it's been polished, like hand polished, but a lot of the, no, you can see it. You can see it. Oh, ah, no, there's the radial brushing. Okay, cool. You can still see it there, hiding in the shadows. Yeah, that's a fine crystal. I wouldn't change that for any darn reason. This is a chunk of funk. Okay, let's see what we're thinking about. Oh, she's running. It's clearly been cleaned and worked on. There was some kind of handwritten servicing note in here, but it's gone. Alrighty. Yeah. I mean, the modern Seiko chronographs, the ones that are, the super limited editions, some of them, is they've got a 7,000 series movement with just a chronograph module bolted to the front of it. So it's not even. I mean, some people would say that it was only sort of a chronograph. It was like a wannabe chronograph, whereas this thing is fully integrated chronograph, 7,000 series. Just really nice quality. Seiko did a good job. Like, if they tried to produce this, a single register chronograph, automatic chronograph today, I can't even imagine how much they'd try to charge for it. It's just mind-blowing. All right. What are we looking at? Yeah, there's no lubrication under the capsule there. I've been wearing those teeth. Not bad. That's a little floppy, but I've absolutely seen worse. Your casing spring looks great. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. You see? Not a speck of corrosion. Absolutely pristine, which is what we like. We know it's a runner. Hang on, I've got to get a specific screwdriver to pull that axle. Hold on. There we go. That loosened up. There we go. Get that back. Now we can use just the little one. Unscrew just one side. There we go. Guess that goes in there. There we are. Ah, it's so pretty. Look at it. And these are nice. I mean, look. I mean, this guy. It's got full diafix settings, and these are great watches. They really are. Okay. Let's do the thing that we're supposed to do. Let's get moving. Yeah, so it's clean, but just bone dry. Oh, come on, where'd that die shock spring? Oh, it's over here. I got it. I see it. Silly die shock spring. Thought you could get away from me. Yeah, and also, I mean, these Daini chronographs, unlike the Suo ones, these things are like entirely metal. It is they are like, there's no plastic in these things at all. Yeah, I can't even imagine how much Seiko would charge today for recreating, oh gosh, like the 7016 with the double sub-registers. Wow. Double hand sub-register, that's what it was. Oh my god, I don't even know how much money they'd ask. Of course, the answer is simply to buy an original. They're expensive for a good one, but Seiko would charge a heck of a lot more for a new one. Oh, there, yeah. I gotta get you out. I see you. There we are. Well, it sure is pretty. Wow, look at that. It's just, there's a real specific tone. The loom just gets a little teeny tiny bit tan, just a little bit, and that's what you got here. Gosh, it's so pretty. Really, really, really super nice. Somebody's been sitting on that sweep hand. Is that, what am I looking at there? There's an extremely fine line on your dial right there. Somebody slipped. It's almost impossible to see. Is it a fiber? No, it's definitely there. It's almost impossible to see, but it is right there. I should probably not even have bothered mentioning it, simply because no one's ever going to see it. There's another one right here. I mean, I'm hard-pressed to see it, and I've got magnification and good light. Definitely original hand. Somebody was being silly. Somebody was being silly. What is it with people being silly? Yeah, that I can see that. I can see that extremely fine mark. It goes from here all the way down here. It goes over the R. Must have been the same person who was fiddling around with that thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if that hand is rotating on the shaft or the what in the heck's going on there. Let me see how firmly it's down. Oh, it's on there. Something's not happy. Yeah, something's funky. Something is funky. Let me pull the dial in. So the hand is firm on the tube. It's holding. It's got a little bit of a recurve, not too bad. I can deal with it. But the shaft, the hand tube is holding in the hand, so that's a good thing. That means I'm not quite sure what I'm going to find with your chrono wheel. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a tiny little bend in your dial too. Huh. Interesting. I mean, again, this stuff is almost completely invisible. Okay, you can see the dip right there that got in. I don't think you can really... God, that scratch is impossible to see. Why am I still talking about it? It's so faint. God, it's... A strand of spiderweb would be gigantic next to it. I'll see if I can do something about that. I just wanted to make you aware that it's there. It's definitely in the paint. I can see it. A little bit of haze there. Ah, that's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, gotta flip it over and let's get the dial off. Okay, dial off. Somebody definitely a little careless has in here. See, look, you got this double scratch on the brass stay wheel right there. See it? Also, see this sort of glossy, shiny stuff on this tooth right here, the stir wheel? That's glue. It's some kind of clear glue. So, I'm going to have to see. I'm assuming that it was probably spinning on the stir wheel. Yeah, Yeah, they glued the entire wheel. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's not going to affect anything. The alignment's correct, but that's what they did. That's what they did. They glued that. They glued the star wheel down. You shouldn't have to do that. You should just be able to recrimp it in the staking press, but who cares? If it works, it ain't stupid. Yeah, it's clean, isn't it, though? Let's get these. Let's get these date dial diddlies out of here. I think one of the reasons that the 7000 series movements are not recognized for being as awesome as they are is because they're so robust, and there are just a lot of them, and that people just don't even think about it. And they just think, oh, they're, just think they're junk. 7005, 7006, 7009, blah, blah, blah. They're actually fantastic watches. Fantastic movements. Look at that weird, a lot of oil under there. Okay, that's another sign. Because there are a few things. There's not enough lubrication. That's a problem. And then there's too much lubrication, and that's an entirely separate problem. Yeah, it's got this. It's the way these work. The die fix up here is this little bridge. Do get out. Yeah, see, look, all metal, all metal. Every single gear. They were not trying to cut corners by using plastic. They did later, but not at this point. Come on. Yeah, that felt kind of nice. I usually, when I'm doing work on these, I don't usually pull this unless it's really filthy. Because this thing has the click spring underneath it, and they go everywhere. There's nothing dirty under here. I'll just leave that be. There's certain things you don't have to remove to get the right result. Minute wheel has some gruck on it. Looks like somebody put some of that S3 on there. S4 something. Isn't that interesting? All right. Okay. Neat little solution. It's interesting. It's always interesting to me that Seiko would stamp parts to fit slightly different movements. Like this one has a screw hole down here for a second screw to hold this down, and it has that in other movements, but not here. I don't know why. The hole is there. I don't know why there's no screw there. Must be something in the way. It has been a long time for this thing being worked on. These seals, the crown seal there, hard as a rock. Ancient piece. Yep, okay, so that was the front end, which is just basic old watch part. It's regular standard calendar, nothing funky about it, because this thing's a fully integrated chronograph and it doesn't have a module on the front to turn it into one, because this was a purpose-built piece designed to be a chronograph. Oops. From the get-go. You know, but really, who needs... I don't know. It's all silliness anyway. I mean, fun silliness. Okay. There's that. This I have to clean and get that off of. Isn't it pretty? I think so. Goes there. Let's get us a new basket. Hang on just 1 second. Heidi, what?
Hi.
What's going on?
I'm not here for you.
Oh, you're not, huh? That's too bad. That's too bad. Now I'm sad.
Sorry, I need to figure out what I'm making for dinner.
Do we have anything buried in that freezer?
I was going to look.
I mean, there's got to be stuff out there.
Really? Well, it's all frozen.
Oh, well, you know, that is true.
It's real oily.
Are they? I'm very sorry to hear that.
So I don't know how to open the door.
Oh, would you like me to open the door? Hang on, folks. Okay, so let's rip the train apart. I think sometimes I just like the word rip. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. It was carrying some power, but not running. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, let's, as the Beastie Boys said, kick it. I don't care about you with me. If it comes on, that'll be alright. Double line means it unscrews the opposite direction. So I'm not going to try to pull these die fix settings right now because I've got to get this. I got to get this reduction wheel out of here first. So I'll work on that when I can sit right on top of it. So sorry, no, you're not going to get to see that because itty bitty teeny tiny die fix settings are liable to go flying. We don't want that. You know, it is interesting, actually. The 7000 series chronographs, it just occurred to me, are themselves sort of oddly modular. Because you've got 7015, 7016, 7017, 7018, and a lot of them, they'll use the same plates, but they don't use some of the features that are milled into the plates, which is really interesting. 7015, this is what? A single register chronograph? But this middle spacer plate diddly has a big hole cut out specifically for the 12-hour counter for a 7016, even though this doesn't have that ability. Okay. So there we go. You know, this isn't working because I'm going the wrong direction. That would probably help if I went the right direction, and there it is. Clamp. And then, boink, get out. There it is. There's that bridge. You're a little worn. I got to clean that by hand. But that's. Oh no. That's more the S lubricant. Isn't that interesting? I'll take that apart later on. So there we go. So unlike in the 6000 series Suwa Chronos, Daini did a lot of stuff with stamped material, not machined or anything else like that, but like single piece stamped material. So instead of like a spring and a screw, it's got this single stamped piece, single unit, and it does all the things that it needs to do. It's an ingenious design. And the chronograph wheel clutch is also a much simpler and much stronger design. 6 radiating fingers there, and that is good. It is rare for me to find one of these with a bad chronograph wheel. Even watches, even examples that were clearly hideously abused. Get off. And yeah, it's like they really did a lot with a little. Like they were really looking to find ways to skip over stuff. So it's like these operating levers, they just float there. They just float. Yeah, it's so nice to see one of these with no corrosion. I mean, they're almost always rusted to heck because of the part of the world that they went to, mostly. They mostly come at night. Mostly. Let's see. So there we are. If it takes all night, it'll be alright. Yeah, it's just a smart design. And if they do have to, look, they used a screw here, but the screw is a double use for the screw for this intermediary plate here. And this is how it's just this simple cam. Click, 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 click. And it goes wide, wide, narrow, wide, narrow, wide, narrow. And that makes the operating levers do their thing. So there it is. There's your little cam. See, it's a 4-clicker on the bottom. This. Now at this point, you can go like, yes, I know. Out we come on. And when you do this, look, there comes the chronograph wheel. So again, I'm going to want to separate that carefully manually, but that gets us to this point. See how tightly these things are built, though? I tell you, until you have the knowing of it, these are a little bit challenging. Oh, would you stop it? Boop. Yep. Beautifully made. All engineered by hand. Oh, interesting. Look at that. You're getting strikes. You're getting from the edge of the barrel there. Huh. Okay, I'll have to look at that. Wheels look nice. And I have a basket just for that. Yeah, it looks good. In. Yeah, the lower mainspring R report on this is ovaled a little bit, which is surprising. That's almost never happens. I'll look at that real close. I have these just don't wear like the Sewell ones. They're just the difference in scaling and the size of the train and all that other kind of stuff. It doesn't need to be as hardcore as the Sewell ones. They just don't wear as much. My God, name am I humming Jackson Brown? Okay, there we go. There's your center wheel. Oh, that's what those are. Yeah, I was looking at those and I was like, what in the heck is that? What does that go to? And now I know. Now I remember. Good. Excellent. Okay. There's the main plate. Cool. All right. Well, I don't see any obvious problems right now. The one thing I want to do is I need to get I want to get your chronograph wheel apart and see what in the holy heck is happening with it. It's right. Where am I? Oh, right there. I'm going to see if I can get the fourth wheel section to rotate independently of that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that go. Yep. See that? The center. I'm moving it. I'm holding it with almost zero pressure. Almost no pressure. So this chronograph wheel is technically roasted. I don't think that I could try to restake it. Maybe. Okay, Joe, I'm gonna look at that. If I can repair this, I will. Failing that, I believe I have chrono wheel for this. So I just have to pull apart your mainspring barrel, and then we're going to look at that. So this is the answer for why your sweep hand was resetting all over the place, because your chronograph wheel is bad. Okay. I want to clean everything, get it ready to go, run it through the cleaner, and then check it again, and we'll go from there. I don't want to toot my own horn yet, but we have some good signs. Okay, so the operating lever, right now this movement is set that the chronograph is not turning, which means the operating levers are in, which separates the two sections, the fourth wheel section from the chronograph section. And we look in here. This is the post for the rotor, the oscillating weight, or whatever you want to call it. This is the top of the chronograph wheel. The reason that these holes are here is so you can see if both arms are coming in. Both arms are in now. So we should see the top section not rotate. You can see the bottoms are rotating. Jeez, oh Pete. Okay, you can see that the bottom section, the gears are turning, but that top section is not. And that's the top section is what we care about, so let's turn the chronograph on. Yeah, the little clam went clack, the little cam went click. And there, see, look, in the top, the whole thing is now moving in unison. You can see that. Let's go back. There it is. So it's holding for now. So the big question, it's holding. The big question is now, is simply staking that back together so the clearances were correct. Is that going to be enough? Also, does the sweep hand reset to 0? So before I get any further, I want to check that. So I want to flip this thing over. Come here. Okay. Okay, so there we are. I forget, is the chronograph stopped or running? I don't remember. But the great thing is, this being flyback, is we can reset it no matter where it is. There's that click. Good. That's the stop start. There's the reset. Okay, regardless, it should be at top dead center right now, which means that in theory, the sweep hand should be pointing straight up. So let's find out. Because the way that these hands work differently than the 6139, the main pinion for this sweep hand is not the keying on it. The flat side isn't set. It's whatever side it comes up on. And so the hands are the same way. It's just a round tube, but then you deform it when you put it on. It's a one-time use hand. These were all made by Daini to have the key section be the same in the hand and the shaft. So it's just a matter of whether we can ever so slightly. I wish I knew if this was. Let's see, is that operating lever on or off? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of not knowing. Okay, chronograph is stopped. So this thing should be at top dead center. And that's kind of what it's looking like right now. Well, I didn't want that to happen. Hang on just 1 second, folks. The wheel, chronograph wheel, definitely appears to be holding. The hand tube, though, it's gripping, but the hand still moves around. So I have to do some other tests, but I think that the person, when they were trying to deal with the fact that the chronograph wheel was bad, they were trying really hard to stake this thing down. Like maybe they thought the hand was loose, and they might have jacked it up a little bit, but I'll see what I can do with it. It's fully wound. Everything's in place, and let's see. God. Let's go. Oh, hey, it's running. Okay, right now the chronograph is stopped. So what we're seeing is you're seeing the clutch section is disengaged. The fourth wheel section is moving, but the chronograph wheel section is not. And that's a good thing. No, it's just sitting there. Okay, so for fun. And there you go. The whole chronograph wheel is now turning, and the watch is continuing to run, which is all good stuff. Okay, I'm going to demag it, and then we are going to put it on the time grapher, and we're going to see what in the heck we've got going on. Okay, it is on the time grapher. It is running. I have no idea what we're going to find. Clean signal, some beat error, amplitude over 200. So I'm now going to adjust out that beat error. I can't, I'd love to be able to show you how I do that, but I just don't have a camera set up to allow me to do that. But you can see, there's the movement. So let's put this over here, and I'm going to adjust the accuracy and the beat error. So first I'm going to get rid of that beat error. And I'm going to make a guess. But which direction to go? Sometimes I can tell, other times I can't. 2.5 it says. See, I was wrong. It's either one way or the other, right? So now I'm going the other way. I'm going left, which is effectively, which is for the arm that has the stud in it for the hairspring. So I'm effectively shortening the hairspring, which makes it go faster. I'm getting there. Let me take this down. Okay. So I just adjust the accuracy down, which you'll notice dropped down the rate, but it also increased the beat error, so I've got to take out more of that beat error. We're down pretty low for amplitude. I'm hoping that's going to pop up here once I get this dealt with. Come on. Nope, I went too far. Gotta go back. We've got to go back. No, I went too far the other way. Sometimes these adjustments are just so tight. Come on. Did I go too far? Yep, went too far. I can spend entire afternoons doing this. I mean, and the amount of movement that I'm doing in order to affect these changes is really, really small, which is one of the reasons that if you don't have a time grapher, you really can't do this kind of work because you don't know what you're doing. You can't see the numbers. There's really no way to adjust accuracy without a time grapher, but thankfully they're not super expensive. Okay, so it's running now. This thing has multiple die fix settings, so you gotta sort of let it do its thing. Come on. So it's not quite the end of my day, but it's close. So what I might do is actually just leave this one running and then clean up, and then I'll revisit this tomorrow morning, unless I start getting some real kick-ass numbers. This thing is at full power, right? Okay. I'm just sitting here cleaning up things, don't mind me. Okay, look. 220, 224, 225. Okay, I'm going in the right direction. So you're going to see this. The numbers are going to go up, and it's going to go up and down and up and down and up and down, and as it sort of runs in. And after I flip it over too, it's got to run in. So I'm going to clean my bench. I'm going to leave this just thinking happy thoughts. We'll come back to it probably tomorrow. I don't know that I'm going to come in here and push this through the night. As long as I can have it ready for towards the end of the week, I think we should be okay. Come on, are you thinking? Oh, yes. Awesome. Love it when I do stuff like that. That was my screwdrivers, by the way, nothing that belonged to you. Starting to get some real numbers now. It is still the same day. I just can't leave well enough alone. There it is. It's running. I haven't put the hands on yet. but I will in just a moment. Well, not in a moment. I still want to let it run in overnight. I was getting some funky numbers a little bit because your hairspring's a little touchy, but I think I got that corrected. Yeah, I love these Daini chronographs. Okay, man, I'm gonna miss dinner. I gotta go downstairs. Upstairs. I gotta go. This is a good place to stop. I'm stopping. Good morning. Happy morning. Friday morning. Well, it's not bad for about 12 hours down. Yeah, so the sweep hand, what am I doing? Sorry about that. So anyway, the shaft on the sweep hand was jacked with, so I had to repair that as well, but now it is snapping cleanly to zero. This watch is done. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what else it would need, but I'm going to cap it and make a final thing. There she blows. There it is. You can see that sweep is right at top dead center, and that's where it sits at, which is nice. And let's do a recap. Okay, there it is. Oh, wait. I never set this thing for the right time. Or date. Gosh. That late on a Friday? Yikes. What do we say here? 4:51? 4:51. This will be pretty rough in terms of time setting, not anything else. Today is Friday. Today is the 18th, isn't it? Oh, come on, stop it. There. Sorry for the squeaking. You see there she rolls, and she snaps right back to zero. That's the crystal that it came in with. It was perfectly fine. It didn't need anything. And there she blows. Overall, beautiful watch. Actually, I don't remember seeing one of these before. I get these confused with the 701.5s, but this is 701.7, and it's got a nice, chunky, purposeful case. I normally don't dig these when they don't have tacky rings, when they're just a single register chrono, but this one actually has sort of a nice presence to it, this model. No, that's a nice watch. No, I think that's good. So we had it fixed. It's excellent. So I'm gonna put this video up. I'm gonna prep the invoice, and I'll send this to you. And then, it being Friday, I will then get to Monday morning. I will rip into the other watch, and you said to do whatever is more cost effective. So it really depends on what I find inside that movement. But this one is ready to go. All right. Thank you again, Joe. We'll talk on Monday after I get into that other watch for you. Okay? All right. Sounds good.